Welcome to Science Store online classes.
Don't forget to like our video and subscribe our YouTube channel for all the updates.
Okay, dear students, welcome to chemistry online classes. Today we are going to discuss about a new topic, solution chapter, second PUC solution chapter, JEE and NEET concept. The first question is, which of the following depends on temperature? Which one is depends on temperature? Options are given: molarity, mole fraction, weight by weight percentage, understood, and W by W percentage, and D is molality. You have to check which one is given. We know that, one minute, we know that okay, molarity is nothing but N by V, number of moles divided by volume, number of given solute divided by volume. What is molarity definition? Number of solute dissolved in 1 liter of solution is nothing but N by V. Okay, this is molarity formula. When we discuss about mole fraction, it is actually XA means Na divided by Na plus Nb. This is actually number of moles of particular A divided by total moles of A and B in a solution. Correct? No? This formula we discussed. Weight by weight percentage is given in this one. What is weight by weight percentage? Another formula, weight by weight of solvent, solute, weight of solute, 1 second, weight of solute divided by weight of solution into 100. This is weight by weight percentage formula. Correct? What about molarity formula? Molarity you studied. Molality you studied. Molarity is molality. What do you mean by molality? Definition: molality means number of solute dissolved in solute dissolved in 1 kg of solvent. 1 kg of solvent. What is molarity? Molarity, volume of water in liter, but here volume in here it is in a kg. 1 kg of, okay, number of solvent. Molality is number of solute, number of solute particle divided by what? 1 second. So in this it comes actually number of moles of solute divided by weight of solvent in gram or kg you can write. If it is 1 kg, convert into 1 kg, you have to convert into 1000 gram. Understood? So into 1000. This is actually molality formula. So the very important, first we will discuss about molarity. In molarity, I will write here, okay. Molarity two factors are there. Number of this particular solute divided by volume factor. You know that when the temperature increases, what happens? Temperature increases, volume increases. Molarity decreases. That means when the temperature increases, volume increases, molarity decreases. That means number of moles of solute in a particular volume decreases. Automatically what happens when you increase the temperature? What all the molecules get separated and move away from each other. Correct? No? At that time automatically volume increases when you increase the temperature. When you increase the temperature, volume increases, but same time number of solute particle in 1 liter of solution, that means molarity decreases. That means molarity is purely depends on temperature. When the temperature increases, it affect molarity. Correct? No? It affect molarity. That is important. But in this case, volume factor is there. So wherever that, this is a key point you note down, wherever that volume factor comes, then that volume factor, it depends on temperature. Volume factor always depends on temperature. When you increase the temperature, volume also increases. When you decrease the temperature, volume also decreases. This is the concept. Understood? So volume increases with the increase in temperature. So when the volume factor comes, it depends on temperature. Volume factor depends on temperature. That you point out. This, okay? Volume factor depends on temperature. When you increase the volume, molarity decreases. So molarity also depends on what? Temperature now. Correct? No? Wherever the volume factor is there, that volume factor increase or decrease by increasing temperature or decreasing temperature. Clear? That concept is clear. That means volume factor is depends on temperature. If the volume factor varies, means molarity is varies. So volume factor is there means in any equation volume factor is there means it depends on temperature. Now molarity depends on temperature. Their question is which of the following depends on temperature? Molarity. Okay, we will check for mole fraction. Mole fraction means A of solute is dissolved in B of solvent and it is Na divided by Na. Here there is no mole factor in this particular. Na means number of moles means given weight by molar mass. Correct? Given weight by molar mass. Na means number of moles means given mass divided by molar mass. Given mass divided by molar mass. In that concept there is no volume factor. Only weight factor is given. Correct? No? There is no volume factor. So just neglect this one because it does not depends on temperature. Okay, this is not, the mole fraction is not depending on temperature because there is no volume factor in this particular. I already mentioned that if in question volume factor is there in that particular formula, it depends on temperature. That point you have to note down. Okay. In this there is no volume factor. Na means number of moles of A. That is nothing but given mass divided by molar mass. Wa divided by molar mass of A. Like that you are getting. So in this formula there is no volume factor. So it does not depend on temperature. Next, weight by weight percentage. In that one, weight of solid divided by weight of solution into 100 it is given formula. Understood? This is another formula. Weight by weight of solid divided by weight of solution into 100. In this one you check whether is there any volume factor is there? No volume factor. If there any volume factor, it depends on temperature, then that particular thing is depends on temperature. So weight by weight percentage does not depend on temperature. This is also not depending on temperature. Molality concept. Number of moles of solid divided by weight of solvent in gram into 1000. There is no, in this also there is no volume factor. So there is no volume factor, means it does not depend on a temperature. So only one is depending on temperature, is nothing but molarity. Answer is molarity. So the molarity changes when the temperature increases or decreases because volume changes. How you will come to know? By writing the formula N by V. Correct? No, number of moles in a volume of a solution. Simple. So molarity depends on the temperature. Okay. Next question. A dilute aqueous solution of a strong electrolyte barium hydroxide is. This is actually how to find this answer for this particular means. You have to write barium hydroxide first, and dilute solution of barium hydroxide means barium hydroxide, strong electrolyte barium hydroxide. That means barium hydroxide completely dissolved in a solution. So how it dissolves barium hydroxide? Barium hydroxide dissolve into Ba2 plus and OH minus. That means 2OH. Here 2OH is there. Balancing equation here you get 2OH minus. Correct? Equation is balanced. Ba2 plus. Like this it dissociates. Correct? So you have to count number of ions formed during dissociation of a strong electrolyte barium hydroxide. It is nothing but I factor. I factor is nothing but during dissociation, Van't Hoff factor. It is also called Van't Hoff factor. Number of solid particle dissolved in a particular solvent. Van't Hoff factor. You studied it that particular. Correct? No. That means how much amount of solid particle, number of solid particle dissolves. That is nothing but I. Here barium hydroxide is given. You are dissolving in a solution. It gives Ba and 2 molecules of OH minus. Correct? Here total number of ions, here 1 barium ion is formed, here 2 OH is formed. Total number of ions I during dissociation is nothing but I is equal to 3. I is nothing but Van't Hoff factor. Number of solid particle dissolved, number of solid particle formed during dissociation. Understood? So here 2 hydroxyl, 1 barium, total I is equal to 3. So here answer is A0 given, B1 is given, C2 is given. Answer is this one, 3. Okay. Which one of the following is incorrect for ideal solution? Ideal solution, which one is incorrect? I will tell you ideal solution how it is formed actually, that I explained in your regular class actually. A2 reacts with the B2 and it gives AB2. That means AA reacts with the BB. It gives AA reacts with the BB. It gives AB. And again AA reacts with the BB, it gives AB, that is nothing but AB2. Correct? Or you can write like this, 2AB. Okay, 2AB. Here A is one component is taken, B is another component is taken. While mixing it forms A and B. Correct? So in ideal solution what is this? Before mixing this particular component, the force of attraction between AA and BB is same as after mixing AB. This you don't write here, AB. How many molecules of AB? Here 2 molecules of AB. Like this. See, before mixing AA and before mixing BB, force of attraction between A and B is there. Correct? No? After mixing A and B, it forms force of attraction changes to AB. Correct? AB force of attraction. Before AA pure state, BB pure state. force of attraction is there. After mixing it forms AB attraction, AB force of attraction. What ideal solution theory says? Before mixing and after mixing, force of attraction remains constant. That means here what force of attraction is there? It is same in this case also. Force of attraction is same. Before mixing and after mixing, force of attraction is same. So if force of attraction is same means, first we will think about enthalpy change. Enthalpy change means heat change. There is no force of attraction change in this particular, because before mixing and after mixing same force of attraction. So after mixing also vapor pressure is same, before mixing vapor pressure is same. Clear? So in this point no energy is required. No energy is required in the form of heat to form AB bond. Why no energy is required? Because AB force of attraction is same. AB force of attraction is same as that of AABB force of attraction. So no energy is required. No external energy is required for the formation of AB bonding. So enthalpy change, heat change is zero. Energy in the form of heat. Correct? No. Neither energy is not released or absorbed. Correct? No. Nor absorbed, either released. Even energy during this formation of AB bond remains constant. So delta H mix is 0. Correct? You have to find out which one of the following is incorrect. This is correct sentence, because there is no heat change or energy change after mixing. Correct? No. So it is equal to 0. And one more point, B, volume changes. I will tell you. Now if I mix, A is 50 ml of A is taken and 50 ml of B is taken. These two mix I will get 100 ml of AB. That means here how much amount you added, volume you are taken, that much amount you are getting after mixing also. That means volume do not change. Volume remain constant. That means delta V mix is equal to 0. That means there is no change in volume. Volume same, remain as it is. And here they given delta P, change in pressure is equal to P observed minus P calculated by Raoult's law is equal to 0. They simply given for confusing this particular delta P is equal to 0. You are reading entire things, P observed minus P calculated by Raoult's law is equal to 0. You will get confused. Delta P, what is there in that one? Something is there. Nothing is there in that actually. You should understand the concept by here only you have to understand. When we mix, there is no change in force of attraction. There is no change in force of attraction means before in pure state like this. In pure state AA after BB. In pure state means after mixing AB. Correct? No. In pure state how much vapor pressure it gives? The same vapor pressure will be given in impure state, means after mixing. In pure state, how much vapor pressure is there? Same amount of vapor pressure it gives after mixing. What is the reason behind this means? Same force of attraction acting after mixing and before mixing. Force of attraction holds the molecule tightly. The same attraction is there. So number of molecules appears in AA pure state vapor pressure. In that same amount is formed after mixing AB also, because force of attraction is same. For that reason vapor pressure also same. So here change in vapor pressure is equal to 0. There is no change in vapor pressure. Understood? No need of calculating entire things. It is equal to 0. Change in vapor pressure also 0. Understood? Now delta G mix is equal to 0. The question arises. Here delta V mix is there. Here one formula is given. Delta U is equal to P delta V, delta H. The formula is given, delta U is equal to delta H is equal to delta V. This formula you studied in thermodynamics. That means here they are telling that delta V, delta H is equal to 0 in ideal solution. Delta V is also 0. Correct? If delta H is 0, delta V is 0, then whole delta U also 0. Delta H is equal to enthalpy change is equal to internal energy plus P delta V, change in volume, pressure into change in volume. Here they given actually delta H is equal to 0, delta V is equal to 0, then delta U also is equal to 0, internal energy also is equal to 0. So delta V is 0, delta H is 0, delta P is 0. Now we have to check for this one, delta G mix is equal to 0. You have to check whether this is correct or not. Incorrect. For this one you have to check delta V mix is equal to 0. Which formula I suppose you use for this particular? Which formula for this delta G mix is equal to 0? I have to check delta G is equal to delta H minus T delta S. From where we are getting this formula? From thermodynamics chapter, remember. Okay, here you can see that delta H is equal to 0. Delta H is equal to 0. But this delta S, change in entropy, cannot become 0 in this particular. It is not possible. Correct? No. If entropy, after mixing what happens? Entropy increases or decreases, it depends. Correct? No. Sometimes entropy increases or sometimes entropy, measure of disorderliness increases or decreases. That means measure of entropy increases in this case. That means here entropy change is not equal to 0, not equal to 0. That means entropy either increases or decreases, it depends on the reaction. In this case if it increases means okay, but it is not equal to 0. Entropy change is not equal to 0. When we mix two compound, immediately entropy changes. That means measure of disorderliness changes. Sometimes it increases after mixing the particular AA, BB. That is common thing. That means if two classes are there, A and B section, once you mix A and B section, what happens? Randomness increases. All people used to together sit and enjoy yourself. Correct? No. That means randomness increases after mixing. After mixing. Correct? No. There is no proper this particular sitting arrangement. Everyone will enjoy yourself. The same thing happened here also. A, BB, once you mix it forms A and B. That means entropy is not equal to 0, it increases most of the times. Sometimes it decreases, it depends on the reaction. But when delta G becomes 0, if this term becomes 0, if entropy term is 0 means, then delta G mix is 0. Change in Gibbs free energy is 0. Is it possible to get this equation by keeping delta S is equal to 0? No, not possible, because I already mentioned while mixing delta S, change in entropy either it increases or decreases. Increases in this case means measure of disorderliness increases, not equal to 0. So this term, delta S term, is not equal to 0, so delta G also not equal to 0, but they given delta G is equal to 0. In this you have to find out incorrect. This is given is equal to 0, but is not equal to 0. From this you will come to know that delta G is not equal to 0. So how we are getting delta G is equal to 0? By keeping delta S is equal to 0, but it is not possible. Correct? No? So this is a wrong, incorrect. Answer is this one, D. Answer is D. Answer is D. Remaining all this correct statement. Answer is D. Delta G mix is equal to 0. Students, next question. What is the mole fraction of solute in a 1.00 molar aqueous solution. Molal means molality, number of gram of solute dissolved in 1 kg of solvent. So easy method I will tell you how to find this particular. Solute is how much? 1 molar. 1 molar. 1 molar solute in 1 kg of solvent. 1 kg I can write this one as 1000 gram of solvent. Correct? 1000 gram of solvent. Here they given solvent is aqueous solution. Aqueous solution. So aqueous solution means the weight of water, that means molecular mass of this particular water is actually, water is given solvent, so molecular mass is 18, correct? 18 gram. And now you have to find out mole fraction of water, that means a number of moles of water in this particular aqueous solution. Number of moles of water means N of water is nothing but weight divided by given mass, given weight divided by molar mass. So given weight is how much? 1000 gram. Molality means 1000 gram. 1000 gram divided by 18 molecular mass of this which one? Water. It is nothing but 56.5. 56.5. That means number of moles of water is how much? 56.5. Okay na? See, very simple. Look at this question, you read once. But this question is not over, okay. Just we find that number of moles of water. What is the mole fraction of solute? You have to find out what is the mole fraction of solute is present. Understood? What is the mole fraction of solute in a 1.00 m aqueous solution? Understood? What is the mole fraction of solute present in a 1 point, that you have to find out. Clear? Here question is not over. Okay, my dear students, now this is actually 1000 divided by 88, 55.5, okay, 55.5. Now you have to find out what is the mole fraction of solute present in this particular. So formula is NB is equal to NB divided, XB, mole fraction of B is nothing but number of moles of B divided by number of moles of B plus number of moles of A. This is number of moles of A. Water is number of moles of A. Okay. Here I will substitute. Here NB, number of moles of B. Solute is how much it is given? Number of moles. 1 molar. 1 molar solute is dissolved in aqueous solution. Correct? Molality of solute is given. Number of moles of solute is given. This is nothing but 1 mole. Understood? And NB is 1. Here this is 55.5. Okay, 55.5. And here you will get 56.5. Correct? So dividing this term is a little difficult. So I will make a solution for this particular. How to divide this particular? You just take, this is actually here 56.5 is there, that I will take 560. Here 1 is there, that I will take 10. Okay. Now it is easy to divide this particular. So 565, 10. Is it possible to divide 10? No. But you have to take here If I take 1 0 here it becomes 0 and one more 0 means 0 point it becomes, correct? No, here one more 0 because 565 divide 1000, here 0 0.0, correct? No, so 0 0.0, I added 2 0 here, so here it is 0 0.0. This division and all you have to study, okay? Dividing. Now what happens? 565 ones are 565, okay? You are getting something. And after that 565 ones are 565, 565 ones are 565. Your answer is 0.01, and you can solve this also. Continuation is not required because it is wasting time, understood? So just you stop here. 565 ones are 565, that means 0.01 is your answer. 0.01 is your answer. So where it is 0.01, you have to find out. Here 1.770 is there, 0.0354 is there, 0.01 is there. After that 2 digit is there, that is okay. But here 0.1 is there, but here 0.0 is correct answer. 0.0177 is the correct answer. My dear students, once again I will explain this term. So they asked in question, find the mole fraction of the solute. So to find mole fraction of solute, we have only one formula. It is nothing but XB is equal to NB divided by NB plus NA. So in this you have to find out number of moles of B and number of moles of A, correct? But in question they given number of moles of number of moles of solute. It is nothing but 1.00. They already given. Then what is next? Next you have to find out number of moles of A. A means next solvent. Solvent is nothing but aqueous solution. Aqueous solution means water. You have to find out aqueous solution. That means number of moles of aqueous solution. Water you have to find out. To find that, I just calculated these terms. 1 molar is nothing but 1 molar solute is nothing but 1 molar solute in 1000 gram of solvent. 1000 gram of solvent. Here which solvent is taken? Here water is taken as a solvent. What is the molar mass of water? It is 80. Okay. How to find number of moles of water? It is nothing but N of water is given mass divided by molar mass. Given mass is 1000 gram, means molarity in 1000 gram, correct? 1000 divided by 80, it gives number of moles of water. It is nothing but Na we got. We are just substituting NB, Na. So NB is already given 1. So we are substituting 1 plus 55.5. It is 1 divided by 56.5. For dividing this one, a point is there. I just taken this particular as a 565. Here it is a 10. Understood? So 565 over 10 means it's difficult. So you have to add 1 0 here. So here it becomes 0 point. And again 1 0 is added here 0. Correct? No. See here 565 ones are 565. After that you have to, so no need of solving. We got answer 0.01. This is answer. You may ask why you solve this one, means to get Na. Understood? Directly you won't get answer for this one. That's what they given. This is the answer 0.01. Over. Next question is, which of the following electrolyte has a same value of want of factor I as that of aluminum sulfate if all are ionized 100%? Understood? That is the question. So you have to find out here solution for this one. I draw here aluminum sulfate. Want of factor I means I already told that the number of solute dissolved in a particular solution, that you have to write dissociation of this particular aluminum sulfate. Aluminum sulfate. Here it gives Al 3 plus and sulfate SO4 2 minus. So 4 2 minus. Correct? Aluminium sulfate. So number of ions. So you just balance equation here 3. 1 minute. You just balance equation. Okay, just balance the equation. Al2 is there, that is Al3 plus, it dissociate into Al3 plus SO4 2 minus. And how many S is there? 4 means 4 into, okay, 3 S. So you have to put here 3 into 4, 12 oxygen, that is correct. And how many aluminum is there? 2 aluminum. Here you have to find out total number of ions formed. Here 2 ion plus 3. 2 plus 3 ions. Total ions formed is 2 plus 3 is nothing but 5. Okay. This is actually want of factor I. Number of ions formed. We discussed in early first one more question we discussed on the same factor, barium hydroxide, how it dissociate. Here aluminum sulfate is dissociated and gives 2 aluminum. 2 aluminum is how? Just I wrote Al3 plus and SO4 2 minus. After that you have to balance equation. Here 3 sulfur is there, so I put here 3. Understood? This become 3 into 4 12. Oxygen is balanced, sulfur is balanced. Here 2 aluminum is there, just I added 2 here. Understood? Now you check number of ions. 2 aluminum ion, 3 sulfate ion, plus total is 2 plus 3 5 ions. 5 ions. So dissociation gives want of factor 5. You have to check all other aluminum nitrate, potassium ferrocyanide, potassium sulfate and potassium hexaferrocyanide. This you have to check. Okay, we will check one by one. This you take down. I factor is 5. Aluminum sulfate I factor is 5. Okay students, now you check aluminum nitrate. Aluminum nitrate factor you check. Aluminum nitrate are dissociated and gives what? Al3 plus and nitrate NO3 minus. Correct? Like this. Here Al3 plus is there. 3 plus and NO3 minus. Here how many oxygen nitrogen is there? 3. That means 3 into 3 6 oxygen. Aluminum is 1. Equation is balanced. So number of ions here 1 aluminum, 3 nitrate. Total I factor is in this one 4. So what we got for aluminum sulfate? Earlier we discussed aluminum sulfate is I factor is 5. So this you remember. And next we will check this one, potassium hexacyanoferrate. Potassium hexacyanoferrate, this one K4Fe cyanide 6, like this. Potassium hexacyanoferrate. In this what happens? Here this bracket represented things is considered as a 1 ion. What you are written in a bracket, coordination compound, correct? No, that will be considered as a 1 ion. Remember, that will consider as a 1 ion. Here how many potassium is there? Potassium is 4 plus 1 ion, correct? Potassium is 4 and plus 1 ion, total I factor is 5. And the next one you will check, potassium sulfate. Potassium sulfate. Here potassium gives K plus and sulfate SO4 2 minus. Correct? Here equation is balanced. Here 2 potassium you have to write. Our number of ions here 2 plus 1. Correct? 2 plus 1. So 2 plus 1 sulfate, 2 potassium, total 3. I factor is 3. I factor is 3. Next, potassium hexacyanoferrate. Here you check in this one, this bracket what you represented as a coordination compound is considered as a 1 ion. So here how many potassium is there? 3. 3 plus 1 total 4. So what they asked in question, which of the following electrolyte has same value of Van't factor of aluminium sulfate? That means aluminium sulfate is 5 Van't factor, same volume Van't factor in this one. Which one? You check. Aluminum nitrate is 4, it is not matching. So potassium sulfate is 3, not matching. Potassium hexacyanoferrate not matching, but potassium hexacyanoferrate K4, this is matching. Okay, which option is it is correct? Option B is correct. Option B is correct. Okay, same number of Van't factor. Okay, my dear students, next question is the mixture that forms maximum boiling azeotrope is A. Water plus nitric acid, ethanol plus water, and acetone plus carbon disulfide, heptane plus octane. I will give you one idea to remember this particular in the mixture that forms maximum boiling azeotrope. That means we discussed already in class theory what is maximum boil and minimum boiling azeotropes. Okay, that examples you gone through that. Maximum boiling, which one shows maximum boiling? The solution which shows negative deviation, which shows negative deviation is shows which having negative which shows negative deviation is shows is nothing but maximum boiling azeotrope. The solution which shows positive deviation is nothing but minimum boiling azeotrope. Solution which shows negative deviation shows maximum boiling azeotrope. How to remember these all? Which one is negative deviation, which one is positive deviation? That is the question arises, correct? No, which one shows positive deviation, which one shows negative deviation? That question arises. Okay, my dear students, in this one, which one shows negative deviation, which one? Negative deviation shown by acid mixture, acid solution. So here two mixture is there, water and nitric acid. Then acid shows most of the time negative deviation, most of the this is easy to remember. And positive deviation shows which one? Is shown by alcohol. If any mixture contains alcohol, carbon disulfide or CCl4, carbon disulfide or CCl4, carbon disulfide or CCl4, this will contain, this shows actually, see, negative deviation shown by acid. If the mixture contains acid, then it shows negative deviation. If the mixture contains alcohol, carbon disulfide, carbon tetrachloride, then it shows a positive deviation. Easily you can find out. Here nitric acid, acid is which one? Negative deviation. And here positive deviation, alcohol, positive. And here acetone, here carbon disulfide, positive. Here this one, heptane and octane is an ideal solution. Ideal solution which do not show any negative or positive deviation. This is an example for ideal solution. So what is the answer? With the mixture that forms maximum boiling point. Maximum boiling point, one which shows a negative deviation. Minimum boiling point, one which shows a positive deviation. These are the points you are note down. Understood? This is the point you just note down. Maximum boiling point shows by negative deviation. That means this answer A is the correct. Which one shows positive negative deviation? Acid. And which one shows positive deviation? Alcohol. These are the note down. Please, okay? Notes. Okay, so easily you can find answer. Okay, dear students, now let us discuss about this question. If molality of a dilute solution is doubled, then the value of molar diffraction constant Kf will be option A half, B tripled, C unchanged, D doubled. Option. So you have to find out. So which formula I suppose use for this particular? It's nothing but delta Tf is equal to Kf into m, molality. Correct? Kf is into m. Kf means molar depression constant. Kf means what? Molar depression constant. Molar depression constant. Molar depression constant. Molar depression constant. Okay, and this depression constant is depends on solvent. It depends on Kf depends on Kf depends on solvent and not the solution. Not the solution. Note down here. Not the solution. Polar depression constant is depends on solvent you are adding, not the solution. Not the solution. Okay. Here Kf, here it does not depending on dilute solution, whether it is diluted or not. Molar depression constant is not depending on this particular dilute solution. Understood? Molar depression constant it depends on solvent, not the solution. Not the solution. You change the concentration of solution, it does not depend on a solution actually. Understood? So it is unchanged. Kf will be unchanged. Note down that point. Kf is unchanged. It is independent of solution concentration. Write down. Kf is unchanged. It is independent of solution concentration. It depends on the solvent. Understood? Over. So Kf is independent of solution concentration. Independent of solution concentration. Understood? So here you take dilute solution or concentration, it does not affect this particular Kf value. Understood? It is remains unchanged. This question appeared last year. And which of the following statement about the composition and vapor over an ideal 1.1 is to molar mixture of benzene and toluene is correct? Assume that temperature is constant at 25. Which of the following statement is correct? That means they are taken 1.1. That means toluene 1 mole they taken and benzene also they taken 1 mole. Understood? 1 mole is taken. You have to find out. The option is given, the vapor will be contain equal amount of toluene and benzene, and B is not enough information to make a prediction. To make a prediction, this information is not sufficient. Option B. C is the vapor will contain a higher percentage of benzene, and D is the vapor will contain a higher percentage of toluene. Vapor pressure means we have one formula. They asked which of the following statement about is correct. Vapor pressure means we have one formula. It is nothing but that I will write here. Okay, I will erase this particular. Here I am writing P naught A. That means P naught A means is a pure state. Okay, 1 minute. Okay, here this is actually alright. Benzene is taken as A. Okay, benzene is taken as A, component A, and toluene is taken as component B. Okay, so wherever A represent is benzene. Okay, Here the formula is given for vapor pressure. PA is equal to P naught. P naught A means pure state A into XA, mole fraction of that particular component in that particular solution. Correct? Benzene. This refers benzene. And here PB is equal to P naught B is into XB. XB. Okay. Now PA, vapor pressure of this particular is given. What is vapor pressure? Oh, it's missing. 1 minute, I'll give you question. Vapor pressure is given. Okay, dear students, in question you add, this is also given. Benzene vapor pressure is 12.8 kilopascal and toluene vapor pressure is 3.85 kilopascal. It is given, you just add that point, okay. The question is this much, you know down, okay. Now, in benzene vapor pressure is given as how much? 12.8, understood? 12.8, okay. Before that, okay, pure benzene is 12.8 vapor pressure, that I will write here. P naught A is equal to 12.8 and P naught B is equal to 3.85. It is already given. You have to find out mole fraction of A and mole fraction of B. Here mole fraction of A means XA, Na divided by Na plus Nb. Correct? Here Na, number of moles of A, it is 1.1:1 molar. That means A is 1 mole, B is 1 mole. So we have to write A is 1 mole, here A is 1 mole, here B is 1 mole. That means 1 by 2. 1 by 2. XA is nothing but 1 by 2. Here also XB. How to find out XB? NB divided by NB plus NA. Correct? Here NB is 1 plus 1. That is nothing but 1 by 2. So here you got this value. So just substitute here. PA is equal to P naught A is how much? 12.8 into half, it gives 6.4. 6.4. The vapor pressure of benzene is vapor pressure is given how much? 6.4 by calculation. Here toluene vapor pressure, this is the formula. So you substitute these values. PB is equal to 3.85 into XB is equal to half is 1.4 something. 1.4, okay. 1.4. That means PB is equal to 1.4, vapor pressure of toluene. So which one? Their question is which of the you read the sentence. The vapor pressure of will contain equal amount of toluene. It is wrong. Benzene and toluene. It is wrong actually. Correct? Not enough information. This is I will discuss later. The vapor pressure will contain a higher percentage of benzene. Correct. Here vapor pressure contains higher percentage of benzene. Correct? Benzene vapor pressure is 6.4. Toluene vapor pressure is 1.4. So this option is correct. So this is wrong then. Then vapor pressure will contain higher percentage of toluene. It is wrong. Vapor pressure contains higher percentage of benzene. So 6.4 highest percentage of benzene. So option C is correct answer. Question only big. Understood? By seeing that question, don't get frustrated. Oh, this is too tough. How can I solve this particular? Like that you may feel. But it's very simple. Question answer is very simple. That is simple formula you are using PA, P naught A, XA. That P naught A value is given in question only 12.8 kilopascal. Toluene this value also given, it is a question, and you are just finding number of moles of A and number of moles of B. That you are getting answer is half for this one. You are just multiplying with this, substituting here 12.8 into half. You are getting 6.4. Others remaining everything is same. Understood? Very simple.
Don't Don't forget to like our video and subscribe our YouTube channel for all the updates.